Yo, what's good everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I wasn't able to post last week because I've been busy redoing my room. The same with my sister, so I haven't really found time to record. But I just finished the painting part. I still got a lot of features to add to it, but when everything's done, it's gonna look pretty dope. But yeah, starting next week, we're gonna have the same upload schedule, posting every Saturday. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so the entire sample sounds like this. Alright, so the first thing we got in here is the bells. And everything that I got from the sample is all from the Apollo one-shot kit. So basically the bells, you find them right here at bells, and it's the second one. So pretty much all I did with it was, as always, start off with your scale. Doesn't matter which scale you're in, but I'm going to be in G minor. And the first thing that I do is I create an E minor chord, but I transpose the E note up an octave. Then I add a filler as the B note, and then same E minor chord, just invert the G up an octave, another filler note, A minor, invert up the C, another filler, another G minor chord, regular, no inversion, and then another filler, leaving it unresolved so that I can paste everything back together. So basically, it sounds like this. Alright, so for the effects that I added on that was just a EQ, boosting up some of the highs. Over here that I like the frequencies and I wanted more of. I added a little dip around the mids, around 730 Hz, and I took out some of the low end. From there, I just added a fruity delay, put on the ping pong preset, turned down the wet to about 5 to 6%, turned up the tone to about 45%, turned down the level, and I put the time knob right about here because for me it's what sounds best and it gives it a nice kind of choppy feel. From there I just added this finisher micro plugin. It's a free effect plugin and it's really cool. Basically there's a lot of presets that you can use, but I just use this infinity preset. A lot of the presets in this plugin are really good to make like dark beats and all that stuff and dark samples, and it's a free plugin, so I'll leave the link down in the description. So basically I just added the infinity plugin right here, and if I were to put it to the max amount, this is how it would sound like. So it has this kind of nice little annoying high pitched kind of bell sound to it, but it's a bit too much, so I turned it down to about over here. It gives it almost this jingle type of vibe. And then from there I just added Valhalla on it, turned up some of the early, turned down the size, turned down the rate, messed with the high cut and the low cut, turned down the decay down to 2.3 seconds, turned down the pre-delay to 0.0 milliseconds, and I turned down the mix to about 15.2%. From there I just added a final EQ so I can soften some of the highs, add a bit of dips around the mids over here, and took out some more of the low end just to kind of correct some of those harsh frequencies that I didn't want coming from the other effects. So basically without any effects, this is how the bell sounds like. And then with the effects. Alright, so from there the next thing I added was a pad, also from the Apollo one-shot kit as I said, and then this is how it sounds like. Alright, so basically I'm just kind of creating a little bass line here, and then I pitched the octave up. So basically what I did over here was I just created this bass line, but I had done it in about this octave. But then I wanted it to sound a bit more annoying and kind of airy, so I pitched it up an octave. And then from there, I just pitched this down an octave right here. Alright, so for the effects that I had on it was just a EQ, taking out a lot of the frequencies because it was very airy and very open. So I wanted to take out some of those frequencies to make it sound a bit more compressed together. So also everything sounding a bit more compressed, adding layers on top of each other, it will give a better final mix, and it kind of everything will have layered together, and it gives a better sample at the end. Just added another 3D delay, put out the ping pong preset, turned down the wet to about 6%, turned up the tone to 45%, turned down the level, and then I turned the time knob to right about here, as I said. Final thing I added was a finisher micro. This time I just put on the comb filter, and then I put about this amount. So the pad with no effects on sounds like this. And then with the effects on, alright, so the final thing that I added to the sample was a choir, and basically I just copied the same chords and filler notes as the bell. I just put some of the fillers repeating. So basically all it is like this, just regular E minor chord, no inversion, B filler note, E minor chord once again, but this is what we call a sus chord, as I explained in my previous video. All I did was I took this G chord, this G note, excuse me, and then I took the G and I inverted it down one, transposed it down one semitone to make this minor sus chord down to an F sharp minor, and then added another B filler note, E minor, B, E minor sus, B, then everything here I just pasted it over here. All I did was I just transposed it down an octave. So the choir together sounds like this. Alright, so for the effects that I added for it, just an EQ, taking out a lot of the high end, softening some of the mids, and taking out a lot of the low end as well. Added another delay, same presets. Then I added Cymatics Origin, and this is almost like Isotope Vinyl or RC20. It's another free plugin. I'll leave the link down in the description, but I really like it, and there's a lot of presets that you could go down here and scroll through, but I just chose the Origin for this one, which is the default preset. And then I just turned this reel to reel one on right here. You just have to make sure it's on the right side, and I put it down to here about this percentage. Then I turned it down to about here around 7 hertz, because let me give you a listen. So basically if you were to do it like this, it would sound like this. But I turned it down more to about here. So it gives it more of a compressed vintage feel. And then I just turned the saturation to 12%, and I turned down the movement to 26%. From there I just added a Magic Dice, another free plugin that I like to use a lot, and you just click through on this domino and it moves through different presets. So basically the preset that it gave me was about this. So then I just turned it down to about here. From there, added Valhalla, 7.2% mix, turned down the pre-delay to 0.0 milliseconds, turned down the decay to 1.78 seconds. I turned down the size to 34%, turned down the early, turned down the rate. I jacked up the high cut, I turned up the low cut to 520%, 520 hertz, excuse me, and I turned up the late and turned down a bit of the depth as well. Final thing, added another final EQ, just correcting some of the frequencies that were very harsh from the choir coming throughout the mid to highs. So the choir with no effects on sounds like this. And then with the effects on, alright, so that's basically how you make dark samples for people like Travis Scott, Gunna. Yeah, I don't want my videos to be too long and boring, so I think I'm gonna start breaking down my beats in 2 videos. So like one beat I'll do a breakdown of how I made the sample, and then another video I'll do another breakdown of how I made the drums and everything. But yeah, so I think next video I'll break down the drums for how I made this beat, and then yeah, pretty much just stay tuned for that, and like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys want to see next. Go follow my IG at prod_loyal. I'll be posting all my full beats down there, so if you guys want to go check that out, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Stay loyal.
Loyal, always,
peace.
forever, dog.